Everyone, welcome to this edition of the Broadcast, where we give you bite-sized bits of best practices to help you be a better leader and a more effective communicator. I'm your host, Gerard Braud. Today, we're going to delve into the question of, is social media good for crisis communications? Is social media right for crisis communications? And people get very sensitive about this topic. So let me explain to you what I think is a changing nature of social media that you should be aware of. The algorithms are changing. So if you use Facebook just for your own personal use, you've noticed that you don't see as many of your friends as you used to, and you're not getting as many interactions as you used to. And that's because since 2014, Facebook has intentionally changed their algorithms because of two reasons. Number one, they're trying to promote more engagement because more people have left Facebook because of all of the privacy controversies. And number two, they're trying to sell ads to people who use Facebook for business. So what does this mean to your organization when it comes to crisis communications? Well, I've got a good friend by the name of Jay Bear, who's quite a social media expert, and he did an excellent job of describing it to me recently. He says basically what Facebook has done is the Charlie Brown and Lucy football routine. Facebook has pulled the football out away from you, just as Lucy has pulled the football out away from Charlie Brown. So if you have a crisis and you depend on Facebook to notify your audiences of your crisis, fewer eyeballs will see your notification. I'm going to give you a workaround on that in just a moment. But the way it works is if you maybe used to post in the past, let's say you're an electric company or a utility company, or you're a police department, or you're a county, or you're a city. Let's say you used to post and 30,000 people would see your post. Well, now there's a good chance that only in the hundreds or the low thousands are seeing that post. And if someone likes your post, you get a few more opportunities for a few more eyeballs to see you. Facebook kind of rewards you. If someone comments on it, they'll let you see, have even more eyeballs see it. And if someone shares it, even more eyeballs get to see it. In a crisis, there are two things I'm certain of. Number one, your first priority should not be managing Facebook and social media for the sake of trying to get more interaction. Number two, your job is not to monitor comments. Here's where people go nuts. See, I've never been a big fan of social media, even though I'm using it right now. In crisis communications, my preference for you, and this is my preference, home base is your newsroom. And any social media post should point back to your newsroom on your website. Again, Jay Bear made a great observation. He says, never build your house on rented land. Because if the landowner takes that land back away, you're in trouble. You own your website and you own the newsroom on that website. Use it. Now, I realize live videos can be a great way for a community to talk to their audience. It can be a great way for a utility company to talk to their audience. And I highly recommend it. But you can also put videos on your website. Use whatever works for you and recognize that no two organizations are the same. I was with an organization working with them last week on their crisis communications plan. They have in excess of 50 people on their crisis, on their communications team. And so that gives them 50 people they can use during a crisis. But I have other people I work with, they only have one person on their team. So if you have official information in a crisis, my preference for you is put it on your website first. Then if you're going to do social media shares, let's say you're going to do Facebook, put a post on Facebook with a link back to that website. Put a post on Twitter with a link back to that website. Put a video on YouTube, embed it on that website, and put links back to that website. Always link back to your website because you own it and you want to condition your audiences to the idea that the place to learn official information about your organization is on your official page, not your unofficial rented space. Does that work for you? I hope it does. Not everybody is going to adhere to that. But as you're seeing, since 2014, the number of eyeballs who get to see any post you put on social media has gone down drastically. Do you want to go down with the ship, or do you want to condition your people, your audiences, your community, the media, your employees to recognize that home base is on the real estate you own? For the broadcast, this is Gerard Braud.